What this does is it allows you to link controls, your effect controls, to a single layer. If you look here now, they're all animating on their own. So each layer has its own controls. Correct? See that? These are all for each of the different layers. So what I'm going to do is actually create a controller layer. Alright, I'm going to create a controller layer. And in this controller layer, in this controller layer, I'm going to copy this. I could copy this also, but I don't need in this case. And click here and paste. So what I'm going to do is, for all these layers, I'm going to link their properties, these two effect properties, to this guy, right, via expression, so that when I set the transition direction and also the transition time, all the controls are centralized to this controller layer. And how do you set this up? It's super simple. You come here, again, we're at the expression links, right? So come here, I'm going to refresh the layer list, and it's going to display all the layers in this composition or timeline. Select the layer that is going to be your controller layer, which must have the effect which you want to be centralized or controlled centrally by this single controller layer. Alright, you got three options. Over here, you do not have to select effect, you just select the layers. Over here, this option, you select the actual effect you want to deploy or to link, and then over here, you select the property in the effect. In this case, there is no property to select because each effect is a single property effect, right? This only has a slider, and this has a drop menu. But if you're doing drop shadows and stuff, we'll have a look at that shortly. Then for drop shadow, you can pick maybe the opacity or the drop shadow color and have you can select which property you want to be controlled centrally by a controller layer. Right, so I hope that makes sense. So we selected our controller layer, and with this option, link same effect names, it's just going to grab these two guys, because they're there, and then next you select your layers where you want to link the properties to. Okay, and then you just click create expression links. Whoops. It's okay, I'm going to come here because when I pasted the animation controller was not at time 0 or at the endpoint. So now as I animate this, they're all centered. Yeah, they're scaling in from the center. So if I come here and choose top left, you can see then now all these layers, their transition direction is now centrally controlled by that one layer. So it's insanely powerful, and as you can see, it's really easy to set up. You just have to make sure your controller layer has the effects which are also within the layers that you want to control, right? And then the script does the searching and matching and deploys the expressions also. Alrighty, I'm gonna undo. Undo, I can still see an expression there. So I'm gonna undo again. One more time. Yeah, so the expression is gone. Right? When it's red, it means there's an expression. So now I'm going to choose this option where I pick and choose which effect in my controller layer I want to link. Right? With this option, I don't select a specific effect. All effects that are here, the script will search if the selected layers have the same effect, and if they do, the script will create the expression link for you. I'm going to bring this there so that the transition starts at time 0. Now, which isn't necessary, obviously, right? So now I have two effects, right? I have two effects. I'm going to set the animation controller to be centrally controlled by the controller, and let each layer have its own transition direction. So I'm going to select this option. I'm going to select here this guy. I could also delete this, but just to show you that we can do it this way. So you select this effect. So you select your layers first. From here, select the effect. Alright, and then click on this. Now you can see the scale controller is linked, but the menu is not linked. Alright, so they're all coming in at time 0 right up to time 2 seconds. That's the duration of the transition, which is centrally controlled here. If I select the text layer now, instead of being centered for its transition in direction, I could set it to top left, and with this guy I can set it to top right. Get the idea? Okay. Now I'm going to select all my layers. I'm gonna remember, this is our null from the layer grouper. I'm going to remove all my effects. Now what's happening here? Let's remove that. Now this layer is interesting. It's got an animation, and it should also work. Well, it does work. Let's do a slight transition here, and this one creates a matte. Alright, so it creates a matte layer which it shies. Alright, maybe I'll unshy it so you can see it, and let's look at the matte effect. Alright, so you can see even if the layer animates or is animating, the slide effect also works. So it slides in at the top. Okay. Oh, it slides in from the bottom center. So I can change this from top center, and it slides in that way. Alright, so I'm just showing you that it works even if your layer is animated. Now, back to responsive transitions. I'm going to show you the third option here. Sorry, it's the expression links. I'm going to show you this third option. I'm going to go to this mode. And now what I will do, I'm going to remove these guys. And let's just select 3 layers. And we're going to apply drop shadow to them. Whoops. Guess I have to do one at a time. Yeah, so I'm going to copy this and drop it here. So, whoops. So all 3 layers at the bottom here have the drop shadow. Okay, but within the drop shadow, I only want the controller layer to be the central controlling layer for, let's say, these 2 properties. Alright, and that's where this option comes into play. And why would you do that? Well, so that it renders faster. Alright, so you don't have to create expressions for each and every option here. So from here, I'm going to paste the drop shadow. Now notice you have to select the property here in the timeline, not up here. As you can see, you can't select individual properties. And even for this option, yeah, don't make selections, effect selections up here. Do it in the timeline. If you do it here, it won't be recognized by the script because it's you can't use scripting to access property selections or effect selections up here. Right? It's going to be done in the timeline. So I got these two properties. In fact, I should have selected these guys first. So select your layer and then select these two properties, and the script will do the same process, right, as these two, except this time it's looking at specific selected properties. All right, and then it's going to match them, or if there is a match, to the selected layers. If there's no match, then obviously there won't be an expression link. All right, so I'm going to click this, and now when I come here, you can see it's created an expression link for the two properties that I selected here. Right, so that's what expression links do.